In the dynasty of the wild wolves, the battle for survival never ends. When the hunt grows beyond control, what will the predator do? Polar bear, over 600 kilograms. No creature on Earth dares face a polar bear. None would dare try. No creature, except wild wolf, and this has never been recorded before. But this is not simply an impossible hunt. This is the story of 3 wolf dynasties, 3 battles for survival, and a truth written into the instinct of a species before history began. Predators do not win by size. They never have. In Lamar Valley, Wyoming, there is a wolf named Shadow, black melanistic coat, the color of a bloodline that has run through this land for over 20 years. Shadow descends from a pack that once numbered 37. A record no pack has broken in the history of wolf research, and descends from one wolf through 9 years of life who never once lost a fight. That legacy runs in Shadow's blood, in every footfall through the snow. More than 5,000 kilometers to the north, White Queen has led her pack through 6 Arctic winters. 6 years old, older than most wild wolves alive. The wolves of Ellesmere Island have never been hunted, never known the cruelty of human presence. But this winter, something is shifting in White Queen. And on the shore of Hudson Bay, where the land ends and the Arctic begins, the Arctic pack is waiting. 6 wolves. The female alpha, her face marked by hunts past. This winter, they will attempt what no wolf pack has ever done. 3 battles for survival across the coldest places on Earth. Lamar Valley, Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming. The finest hunting ground in the entire park, for any pack. Hundreds of elk descend here every winter, when snow buries the high meadows. This is also the land that many wolf packs have bled to hold. Boundaries without markers, only scent, and the memory of those who dared cross. Mature bull elk, antler span over 1.2 meters, body weight over 300 kilograms. This is the target every wolf pack in Lamar Valley drives toward each winter. Not because they have no fear, because an elk like this feeds an entire pack for 10 days. But it is not only elk, Bison also move through Lamar Valley every winter. A mature bull can reach 900 kilograms, 3 times the weight of an elk. Even the largest wolf pack does not bring down a mature bison easily. But winter makes things possible. Deep snow slows the bison. Cold drains energy reserves. The old, the weakened, begin to separate from the herd. And the wolves are watching every step. Yellowstone is not simply a park. It is the largest intact ecosystem in temperate North America, over 2.2 million hectares, where the food chain remains complete, from grass under snow to apex predator. Since 1872, Yellowstone has been the world's first national park, but by 1926, the wolf eradication program was complete. For 70 years without wolves, elk consumed everything. Willows died, aspens ceased to regenerate, rivers lost their banks. Then 1995, the wolves came back. 14 wolves from Canada were released into Yellowstone. Today, more than 100 wolves live within the park. Shadow is one of them. And on Ellesmere Island, where White Queen has led her pack through 6 winters. Conditions exist unlike anywhere else on Earth. January temperatures average minus 40 degrees Celsius. Wind can exceed 100 kilometers per hour. And for 4 months of winter, the sun does not rise. But in that darkness, wolves still hunt. They navigate by hearing and scent, no light required. A wolf's ears rotate independently and detect sound from more than 16 kilometers in the still Arctic air. Their prey, the muskox, has adapted along a different path. The outer guard hairs of a muskox reach 60 centimeters, a windproof outer layer. Beneath that, a dense undercoat 8 times warmer than merino wool. More effective insulation than any synthetic material. Musk ox core temperature holds at 38 degrees Celsius, while the air outside reads minus 40. The rosette formation, horns angled outward, is a wall no force can break. White Queen knows all of that and must find a way through regardless. On the shore of Hudson Bay, the Arctic pack lives in land that belongs to no one. Not forest enough to be taiga, not snow enough to be true tundra. This is a transition zone, ecotone, where 2 ecosystems meet and generate pressure from both sides. Polar bears arriving from the ice. Wolves coming out from the forest, hungry, without options. This winter, the Arctic pack must choose. Continue to avoid a creature 10 times their weight, or change everything. Before dawn, Lamar Valley is absolute silence. Elk grazing on dry grass at the valley floor. Hundreds of them unguarded in the dark. But on the western ridge, something is moving. Low, silent. not in a straight line, a wide arc, as though the terrain here has long been memorized. The elk below have not yet scented wolf. Wind off the mountain slope carries Shadow's scent in the other direction. The younger wolves run, wearing the prey down. Shadow leads through patience and experience. Fast, decisive, no wasted effort. When it is over, the whole pack eats together. Not one is pushed aside. His name was Wolf 21. Wolf 21 was born with black fur. The years turned it gray. He ran these same ridges, using this exact flanking tactic that Shadow just executed before Shadow was born. His pack, Druid Peak Pack, reached 37 individuals. But what science recorded of Wolf 21 was not the size of his pack, not the territory he held, not the years he lived. What was recorded of Wolf 21 was that he never lost a single fight in the entire span of his life and never killed a defeated enemy. Strength that does not require violence when violence is unnecessary. This is the legacy of Wolf 21. Shadow does not know the name of its ancestor, but Shadow's body knows how to stand on a ridge, how to wait, how to lead through patience rather than force. Some things need not be taught, they are inherited. But Lamar Valley does not belong to Shadow alone. This is contested ground. Always has been. To the west, another pack is expanding its territory. To the east, a lone male is testing the boundary. Shadow reads the scent and knows. Scent marking in wolves is not a simple act. Each mark left behind carries detailed information: age, sex, health status, when it passed through. For a wolf, every scent mark is a newspaper packed with information. Shadow already knew something was testing the eastern boundary. Shadow does not travel alone. Two young males, Delta and Roan, follow close behind. This is how knowledge moves through a wolf pack. The alpha leads, the young observe. Next year, they will do the same for the generation after. The lone wolf faces 3 wolves. The calculation is immediate. Not the calculation of emotion, but the calculation of probability. 3 against 1. On enemy ground. The lone wolf tucks its tail and withdraws. Shadow does not pursue. This is the legacy of Wolf 21. Do not fight when it is not necessary. Do not spend energy on an opponent who has already yielded. This restraint is not weakness. It is efficiency. A wolf wounded in a needless fight is a burden on the whole pack. As dusk settles over Lamar Valley, Shadow stands on the ridge where Wolf 21 once stood. The same view, the same wind. The valley below, exactly as Wolf 21 once saw it. The wolf does not think about history, but history, it turns out, is thinking about the wolf. On Ellesmere Island, August is the most precious resource of all. 2 months before the darkness returns. 2 months to feed, to grow, to learn. White Queen leads the pack along a route she has traveled hundreds of times, the territorial patrol circuit. Behind her, in order, clean coat, the younger mate and father of the litter. Then Bright Eyes, the 2-year-old daughter with sharp eyes and a decisive temperament. Then One Eye, Bright Eye's younger sister, quieter, more cautious. And last, Grey Mane and Slender Foot. 2 yearlings still growing, still with much to learn. In the morning, they attempt to hunt an Arctic hare. A hare can run close to 65 kilometers per hour. As fast as a wolf, but more agile, more nimble. The whole pack decides it is not worth it. 1 hare for a pack of 10. Burns more energy than the calories returned. Hunting is not about courage. Hunting is about mathematics. The musk oxen lock into their rosette formation the moment White Queen's pack draws near. The hunt is chess, not pursuit. Each side waits for the other's move. The musk oxen give no opening. Of every 7 hunts, they make 1 kill. Today is not that day. White Queen sits. The pack gathers around her. No one protests. No one leaves. Arctic wolves can go without food for weeks, when necessity demands it. Adults require roughly 3 kilograms of meat per day, but they can fast for weeks, if they must. After the failed hunt, White Queen patrols the boundary alone. Something she has done hundreds of times, without needing company. But today, there is something different in the way she moves. A slight stiffness in the left shoulder. A step that hesitates, faintly, on the slope. When winter truly sets in, the entire Ellesmere ecosystem shifts into survival mode. Every calorie must be accounted for. Every step must have purpose. Arctic hares reduce their movement. Musk oxen cluster in tighter groups. And the polygon pack must decide, range further for opportunity, or conserve energy and wait for opportunity to arrive. Bright Eyes leads the pack on the morning reconnaissance. Not a hunt, only a reading of the situation. The difference between a good alpha and an average one is not strength. It is the ability to read the environment more accurately, more swiftly, and to act on that information when others are still weighing their options. One Eye and Greymane find a fresh muskox trail, no more than 3 hours old, fresh enough to follow, close enough to assess. Bright Eyes reads the wind, reads the depth of the tracks, stops. Bright Eyes sits, the pack waits. This is the language of trust, built through hundreds of small moments exactly like this one. Then the musk oxen appear. Unhurried, she moves south, approaching from the direction the musk oxen cannot scent. They are searching for a weakness in that fortress. Not a gap in the horns, but a gap in resolve. Which one flinches? Which one glances away? Which one stands with uncertain footing? Bright Eyes sees it, the older bull, rear right, stepping unevenly. An old injury, perhaps, or a tendon pulled in the night snow. That is what Bright Eyes needs. The musk ox formation shudders. The older bull is pushed to the outside. She did. When it is over, the pack feeds together in silence. Greymane and Slender Foot, 2 yearlings who have never yet led a hunt, also take their share. Bright Eyes does not claim the largest portion for herself. She learned that from White Queen. The weather turns faster than expected. Wind from the north carries fresh snow. This is a signal the entire ecosystem receives at the same moment. Winter is closing in, and pressure within the pack is building. White Queen leads the pack, as she has done 1,000 times. But today, Bright Eyes walks directly behind her, watching what no one dares to say aloud. Today, she looks stiff and worn. Her young will not recognize it. 6 years old, older than most wild wolves still living. At her peak, a 30-kilometer run was nothing to her. Today, she moves as though enduring. A leader who knows when to let go. The following morning, the pack gathers to move. White Queen is not there. Bright Eyes stands at the head. Succession never ends. It only passes from one set of footsteps to the next. Bright Eyes leads the pack eastward, where the terrain drops and the wind eases. Blown snow accumulates in low ground, burying the musk oxens grazing there, pushing them toward higher terrain. Musk oxen on the move means opportunity for the pack. Bright Eyes knows this logic from watching her mother practice it many times. Of every 7 hunts, they make 1 kill, but this is the seventh. The pack feeds in silence. This is their first meal in 4 days. No cries, no quarrel. Bright Eyes takes her share, then watches the pack, as White Queen always did, making sure each one has enough. Late October, sea ice is forming. Each night fractionally colder, each night a few millimeters thicker. But not yet strong enough to walk on, not yet strong enough to hunt. Beneath that thin ice, ringed seals are living their lives. The polar bear's primary prey, but the ice is too thin for a bear to stand on. And the seals know it. On the surface, beluga whales are migrating south, the same route every year. When the belugas leave, true winter has begun over Hudson Bay. And on the shoreline, a polar bear is waiting. A mother with 2 cubs, 7 months old, has sat on this shore since July. 4 months, no seals, no real food source. Ursus maritimus is a specialist predator, wholly dependent on sea ice as a platform to reach its prey. When the ice disappears, its primary food source moves further out of reach with every season. The mother is losing approximately 1 kilogram a day, while still nursing 2 cubs. Arctic fox trails the bear like a shadow. It trails wolves too when wolves pass through. Here, on the Churchill shoreline, every species is waiting for the same thing: ice. This is the most dangerous moment. The pack forms up behind the alpha female. A pack that has hunted long enough together. Each one knowing their position before the signal is given. The pack withdraws. They have taken enough. Today, the right decision. This is the first time this has been recorded. A wolf pack has defeated an animal many times their size and proved that with enough planning and enough pack, nothing is beyond reach. 3 coat colors against white snow, an ancient tactic. Survival belongs to those who hunt together. Polar bear and gray wolf, 2 apex survivors, will continue to share this shoreline each winter in a balance no one has yet fully understood. This is the Churchill shoreline, where no one truly wins and no one truly loses. Only survival, day by day, season by season, continues. The pack will return next winter. The mother bear will be here. Three packs, 3 territories, the same winter. And the same question: what has allowed these wolves to do what no other species would dare attempt? The Arctic pack, Hudson Bay shoreline. The decoy tactic, multi-directional encirclement, target transfer when needed. Create the distraction, then take what matters. One wolf may be given over in that moment if the rest of the pack gains something from it. In Yellowstone, that same winter, the 8 Mile pack did the same. 6 wolves face a grizzly defending a bison carcass. Within seconds, the bear retreats. 6 wolves from the 8 Mile pack face one of the largest predators in Yellowstone, and they prevail. A reminder that in the wild, teammates can outmatch even the strongest. And shadow in Lamar Valley, the slope-driving tactic of Wolf 21, still present 20 years on. This is collective intelligence, refined across tens of thousands of years of evolution. Working together on this ground, as a family, to achieve what none of them could do alone. The wolves of Yellowstone today carry the genes of Wolf 21 running in their blood. Shadow does not need to know the name of Wolf 21. Shadow's body knows. The black coat is the evidence. Every successful hunt is the proof. And on Ellesmere Island, Bright Eyes leads the pack out for the first time without White Queen. She is not certain, but her feet know the way. She has watched her long enough to understand. A leader does not guide the pack through strength, but through the trust earned with every step. The longest part of winter still lies ahead, but Bright Eyes will lead them through it. January in Lamar Valley, the depths of winter, but inside the wolf's body, something is beginning to stir. Each day holds one more minute of light, just 1 minute, but enough to trigger the breeding cycle. Shadow begins patrolling more frequently. The alpha female of the pack, Onyx, as the researchers have named her, begins to receive more attention. Spring will come, and with it, the next generation. Onyx stands beside Shadow on the ridge. Neither looks at the other. Both look out across Lamar Valley. The ground they will defend, the ground where their young will learn to hunt. This is a species that, per kilogram of body weight, delivers more energy to their family than any other large predator. On the Hudson Bay shoreline, the Arctic pack rests after the hunt. 6 bodies exhausted, full for the first time in many days. F6 licks a small wound on M8's left shoulder, a claw mark from the bear earned when he served as the decoy. A small act of care, but within a pack, these are the most important moments of all. Then the ice grows thick enough. The mother bear and her remaining cub step out onto the frozen surface. They do not look back. Moving east, toward the seals, toward their own survival. The Arctic pack watches from shore. They do not follow. Wolves know their limits on thin ice. And on Ellesmere Island, the Polygon pack is becoming something new. Bright Eyes leads the third consecutive successful hunt. Slender Foot and Grey Mane join the pursuit phase directly, but for the first time, in the pursuit and encirclement. And Bright Eyes waits patiently for that learning, as White Queen once waited patiently for her. One Eye stands beside Bright Eyes after the hunt. No words, only presence, shoulder to shoulder, in the -35 air of the Arctic. This is how a pack says everything without speaking. 3 territories. Winter still holds, but its peak has passed. And across all 3 of those territories, 3 wolf packs are still here. Not because they are stronger than everything else, not because they are fortunate. Because they hunt together, share together, and endure together. Every day, without exception. Survival is not victory. Survival is the permission to continue. Today, 3 wolf packs have been given that permission. When wolves were returned to Yellowstone in 1995, after 70 years of absence, no one could have predicted what would follow. Elk, which had grazed freely anywhere they chose, began to avoid the riverbanks. Cottonwood and willow regrew, root systems stripped bare by elk for decades. The returning trees drew beavers back. Beavers built dams. Dams changed the course of water. Wolves had reshaped the geography of a river, without ever touching it. This is trophic cascade. A predator does not only regulate its prey, it regulates the entire ecosystem. And we lost 2 million wolves across North America before we understood that. 400 years of systematic elimination, leaving us with only 80,000. The wild places depend on these wolves. But they are still here. Shadow on the ridge of Wolf 21, Bright Eyes on the tundra of White Queen, the Arctic pack on the shoreline. Empires will fall. Matriarchs will pass, shorelines will freeze and thaw with every season. But the pack endures, and the pack is always the answer. In the winter of 1995, 14 wolves were released into Yellowstone. A woman named Molly Mattison recorded their every first step. She said, "I did not know what would happen. No one did." 30 years later, Shadow is running through Lamar Valley. There are people who have given 20 years of their lives to watching these wolves, out in the park before dawn, every day of winter, sitting in vehicles at -30 degrees, waiting for a dark shape to appear on the ridge. They do not do this for money. They do it because there are questions about intelligence, about emotion, about connection, that can only be answered by sitting there and watching. Wolves do not run in sprints. The short, energy-burning burst. Wolves run in a lope. A slow, steady rhythm they can sustain for 8 to 12 hours. On flat ground, they can cover 60 to 80 kilometers a day, without fatigue, without rest. This is the weapon of time, wearing prey down through endurance when speed alone cannot. 3 rings of the same cycle. The pups learn from the yearlings learn from Shadow. Shadow carries within her the knowledge of Wolf 21, passed on through action. Wolves do not only hunt together, they live together, sharing everything, food, danger, the memory of winters past. Not every moment carries great meaning. Sometimes a wolf simply stands on a ridge and looks toward the night sky, for no reason. Not because a hunt is coming, not because a threat is approaching. Simply standing there. In this moment, on this ground, and perhaps that is enough. Every empire falls. Wolf 21 knew that. When he stood on this ridge for the last time, looking down over his kingdom. Like every empire, a wolf pack will rise and fade. And through all of it, the valley will still be here, waiting. On Ellesmere Island, Bright Eyes howls. The pack answers. Her howl is different from White Queen's, younger, less certain, but it is a leader's howl, learned from the finest. At Hudson Bay, the ice has finally thickened. The Arctic pack steps out onto it, their winter ground. The polar bears have gone offshore, toward the seals, toward their own survival. The pack stands on the ice and looks out to sea. After everything, they are still here. 3 bloodlines, 3 battles for survival across 3 of the coldest places on Earth. One question: if you had to choose, which bloodline would you follow? Shadow's dark legacy, descended from a wolf who never lost a fight. White Queen's bloodline, who never knew fear. Or the Arctic pack, 6 wolves who did what history said was impossible? Tell us in the comments. Spring always comes. The snow melts. Elk return to the high meadows. Musk oxen on Ellesmere begin to move, in light that grows longer each day. And the sea ice on Hudson Bay breaks apart, returning the polar bears to the sea, returning this coastline to the wolves, a cycle older than any human memory. Shadow and Onyx stand on the ridge looking down at the new valley. This spring, there will be pups. The 13th generation since wolves returned to Yellowstone, and within them, the melanistic black will continue. Wolf 21's genes will continue. On Ellesmere Island, Bright Eyes leads the pack across the waking tundra. She is not as flawless as White Queen. She will make mistakes White Queen would not have made. But she learns, and the pack trusts her. And that, in the end, is all a leader needs. The Arctic pack stands on the Churchill shoreline. The ice has gone. The sea has come back. That historic hunt, the one never recorded before, happened. And next winter they will stand here again, calculating again, deciding again. Thank you for joining us. In the Arctic, wolves have demonstrated multi-directional coordinated tactics, but wolves are not the only species to have discovered this truth. Across every continent, other predators have reached the same conclusion, by entirely different paths. What cannot be stopped is this: when survival demands more than any one individual can deliver, the pack is always the answer. In the Arctic, wolves executed a multi-directional coordinated approach. But consider this question: did wolves truly plan in any sense we would recognize? Or is this the result of millions of years of natural selection? Packs that failed to coordinate simply did not survive long enough to breed? The answer perhaps is both. And that makes the tactics of wolves, and those of other species, more remarkable than any deliberate plan could be. Across this planet, from African savanna to Arctic tundra, from tropical rainforest to open ocean, predators have spent millions of years answering the same question: how to bring down prey larger, faster, stronger than themselves. The answer, across every evolutionary path, leads to the same place. Not the individual, but the collective. Okavango Delta, Botswana, the same problem. Prey that is faster, larger, or more dangerous than any lone predator. The same solution, in a different form. Cheetah. In fewer than 3 seconds, a body weighing less than 60 kilograms will erupt, from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, faster than most supercars on this planet. This is the predator of pure speed, but speed has its limits. B-roll, medium. Cheetah pursues springbok. The springbok zigzags. After 300 meters, the cheetah slows and stops. Core temperature too high. A 2013 study by Robin Hettam revealed something unexpected. A cheetah's core temperature does not spike during the chase. It rises after the kill. Not from exhaustion, from the stress of defending the kill against opportunists. 80% of cheetah hunts take place in daylight, when visibility is at its best, but also when those who steal kills are most likely to spot them. The cheetah hunts alone and pays for it. African wild dog. They run at 60 to 70 kilometers per hour, slower than the cheetah. But they sustain that pace over more than 5 kilometers without breaking stride, and their success rate? 60 to 85%, 3 to 4 times that of the lion. A 2017 study in Proceedings of the Royal Society B found that wild dogs vote by sneezing. When enough individuals sneeze past a threshold, the whole pack departs to hunt. No single alpha decides. Democracy, expressed through a sneeze, and that system delivers the highest success rate in the African predator world. Cheetahs are most often known as solitary hunters, but male cheetahs, brothers in particular, frequently form coalitions. A cheetah coalition can bring down prey twice the size of what a lone cheetah could manage. Laurie Marker's long-term Serengeti study found that coalition cheetahs have a 50% higher survival rate than solitary individuals, not because they hunt better, but because they can defend a kill from thieves. This is the hidden dividend of the pack, one not always factored into the equation. The pack does not merely help you make the kill. It helps you keep what you have killed. In the Serengeti grasslands, a lone cheetah loses its kill to hyenas an average of 15% of the time. A coalition of 2 males, 8%. A coalition of 3 males, below 3%. Those numbers, over time, translate into the difference between life and death. The leopard found a different solution. Rather than form a pack, it hoists the kill into a tree, beyond the reach of hyenas and lions. An adult leopard can drag a carcass twice its own weight to a height of 6 meters. A different solution, but the same goal. Protect what you have earned. Different evolutionary paths, yet all converging on the same point: how to survive in a world where everything competes with you. Even in the reptile world, species without the complex social structures of mammals. Komodo dragons sometimes converge on large prey together. This is not deliberate coordination. This is opportunism. Each Komodo feeding for itself, yet the presence of many disorienting the prey. The same outcome? By a different mechanism. Evolution finds the same solution through many different routes. Masai Mara, Kenya. Lions operate on the moon's schedule. Something Craig Packer's 2011 study in PLOS-1 confirmed. On full moon nights, lions reduce activity, ceding roughly 40% of their active hours to competing predators. But when they hunt, they employ the wing and center. Lionesses divide into 2 groups. The 2 wings flank from both sides, while the center drives the prey into the setup. A single lioness hunting a springbok has a success rate of 2.3%. When hunting in groups, that number can climb to nearly 30%. Same species, same prey, the only difference is how many are moving together. This is no different from the Arctic pack surrounding a polar bear. Different form. but they are cut from the same cloth. Masai Mara, November. The rainy season arrives, and with it, the largest migration on Earth. Wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle. Over 1.5 million animals moving across these plains. And the lion prides of the Masai Mara are already here, waiting, just as they have every year for thousands of years. The large pride of the Masai Mara has 15 members. There is a clear division of labor by gender, but there is more to it than meets the eye. The lionesses do the hunting, the males protect the territory and keep intruders at bay. It is not because the males are lazy, but because this is the optimal arrangement within a pride. If males were to hunt alongside the lionesses, their heavy manes would slow them down significantly and hinder their stealthy approach. They would be a liability during the hunt. Lions do not chase, lions stalk. The stalking phase can last for 2 hours, closing in meter by meter when the wind is right under the cover of tall grass. The prime time for a lion hunt is from dusk until midnight, when the light is dim enough to provide cover, but not too dark to lose direction. Philip Stander described the wing and center formation in 1992, but lions were practicing it long before humans ever learned to write about it. The left wing pushes, the right wing blocks, the center intercepts at the meeting point. This strategy only works when every member knows their role and executes it at the precise moment. One missed second, and the entire plan goes down the drain. Once the hunt succeeds, the pride dines in order. Adult males go first, lionesses follow, the cubs eat what is left. This is not unfairness. This is a structure maintained because each individual understands that a stable pride can secure territory far better than a chaotic one. And good territory means the young have a much better chance at survival. The pecking order at mealtime is a long-term investment in the pride's future. Spotted hyenas. They are often viewed merely as scavengers, but in reality, 60 to 70% of their food comes from their own hunts, and they hunt with a system far more complex than most realize. A 2009 study by Christine Dreyer at Duke University spotted hyenas solve cooperative problems faster than chimpanzees. What allows for that? A matrilineal social structure, much like wolves. The alpha female calls the shots, the pack follows. But in the hyena world, that leads to a somber reality. This intense rivalry leads to a 25% loss among the cubs within their first month. African wild dogs, only about 6,600 individuals remain worldwide. That is fewer than the number of cars on an ordinary highway stretch. Yet in their ecological niche, they are Africa's most efficient predators. Before every hunt, wild dogs perform the greeting ceremony. Grooming, soft vocalizations, tail wagging, it appears almost innocent. But Simon Townsend's 2016 study at the University of Zurich found that a greeting ceremony before a hunt increases success rates by up to 70% compared with hunts that begin without the ritual. The greeting ceremony is a process of psychological synchronization. It brings the entire pack into the same mental state. Alert, focused, ready. The wild dog's relay tactic is something no other species executes as well, not because they are faster, but because they never give their prey a moment to breathe. When the alpha is running at 300 heartbeats per minute, the beta takes over from a different direction. The prey turns to face the new threat and meets a third dog already closing from yet another angle. An impala can reach 90 kilometers per hour for a few seconds, but it cannot sustain that pace. While being forced to change direction continuously, muscle acid builds, something the wild dog never allows to happen to itself. After the kill, wild dogs share with everyone. including those left at the den with the young. Returning hunters regurgitate food for the nursing female. This is the most complex food-sharing behavior recorded in any non-primate animal. Wild dogs leave no one behind, not out of kindness, but because a pack where every member stays healthy is a pack that wins more often. Wolves understand this. Wild dogs understand this. Every predator that coordinates successfully understands this. What makes you stronger is not being strong enough to need no one. It is being wise enough to know that no one is strong enough to need no one. Meta 5. Conclusion. The pack is the weapon. On the Mara River, the Nile crocodile hunts in an entirely different way. No coordinated plan, no signals between individuals. They simply wait. When prey arrives, they strike with a bite force estimated at 22,000 newtons. One of the most powerful bite forces ever recorded. Raw power, no pack required. Each year, approximately 6,250 wildebeest drown while crossing the river, before counting those taken by crocodiles. Prey accepts that toll, because the herd is a shield. In a herd of 1,000 wildebeest, the probability of any one individual being targeted falls to 0.1%. And prey has evolved its own countermeasures. Zebra use motion dazzle. When the herd moves as one mass, individual animals dissolve into a shifting field of black and white, making it impossible for a predator to isolate the outline of a single target. Every species, predator or prey, has found its own solution. But the most effective solution across every continent, across every study, remains coordinated collective action. The natural world is not an unbroken sequence of tragedies. It is a balance, maintained by the tension between hunter and hunted, predator and prey. When the predator disappears, that balance breaks. Yellowstone learned this through 70 years without wolves. Africa is learning it now as wild dog and cheetah numbers fall with each passing decade. In the past 100 years, the world's lion population has fallen from 200,000 to 20,000. Wild dogs from 500,000 to 6,600. Cheetahs from 100,000 to 7,000. Those numbers are not statistics. They are howls growing quieter. Across each grassland, each corner of forest. One pack vanishing at a time. But there are people working to reverse that. In Botswana, the Okavango Wild Dog Conservation Program has helped stabilize the population over the past decade. In Kenya, the Masai Mara Predator Project tracks every pride, every pack, every coalition, learning from them more than any laboratory experiment could provide. In Yellowstone, wolves changed a river without ever touching it. From Yellowstone to Botswana, from the Masai Mara to Hudson Bay, from Ellesmere Tundra to the Serengeti Plains. Across every landscape, when conditions are harsh enough and prey is large enough, evolution always arrives at the same answer. Not the individual, the collective, not solitary strength, collective force. And wolves, across every land they inhabit from the Arctic to Yellowstone, mastered this earlier than any other species. That is why they are still here, and that is why we need them to remain here. Amid the early rains of 2025, as the Mopane Savannah in North Luangwa National Park soaked in the showers and life stirred back to motion after the dry season, an unfamiliar figure emerged. It was the Thornycroft's giraffe, a giraffe species found nowhere else in the world, known only from South Luangwa National Park, with a population of fewer than 600 individuals. The sighting of 3 individuals deep inside North Luangwa, recorded by the North Luangwa Conservation Project, took researchers by surprise. Not a case of getting lost, this was a clear ecological sign. North Luangwa is recovering. The environment here, harsh yet steady, has become resilient enough to welcome back these long-necked wanderers after decades of absence. They appeared like proud, towering shadows stepping out of Eden's memory, a gentle echo of the sacred promise in Isaiah 43:19. Behold, I am doing a new thing. I will make a way in the wilderness. But North Luangwa National Park is not all serenity. The chase begins as lion and buffalo face off in a land cracked open by burning heat, where survival instincts leave no room for hesitation. An antelope risks everything just to touch its lips to a shallow pool, while the hyena still lingers awake. This is North Luangwa National Park, wild, unfiltered, with only the wind's whistle for company. Now, for you watching this video, around where you live, is there a place that still holds on to its untamed beauty like North Luangwa? Share it with us in the comments below. As the rainy season fades, North Luangwa enters the dry season with an unusual beauty, quiet, harsh, and deeply captivating. The skies turn clear and unbroken, with almost zero rainfall from May through October. Daytime temperatures range from 25 to 35 degrees Celsius, reaching up to 40 degrees Celsius during drought years. But on June and July nights, the air turns crisp, with temperatures dipping below 10 degrees Celsius. Dry southeastern winds sweep across the Mopane Savannah, cracking the earth like the aged skin of an elephant. The Luangwa River slowly recedes, leaving behind isolated waterholes, now arenas of survival for both predator and prey. By the end of the dry season, smoke from natural or controlled fires fills the air, painting sunsets in red and filling the atmosphere with the scent of burnt dust, as if this land is breathing through ashes. Fire consumes, yet it also prepares the ground for new life, just like the seeds that wait for flame to burst open and rise from the ashes. During the dry season, the Mopane Savannah becomes a corridor of survival. This is the most distinctive ecological zone of the Luangwa Valley, covering much of the lowland area of North Luangwa National Park. Many animal species gather around the remaining waterholes, while predators lurk in the shadows, using the open terrain and low shrubs to ambush their prey. And as the sun begins to fade, the African wild dog becomes the most striking presence of all. In the parched Mopane Savannah of North Luangwa, they appear like long-distance warriors, resilient and masterfully coordinated. African wild dogs are among the most successful hunters in Africa. Their strength doesn't come from muscle, but from flawless teamwork. Every individual knows its role. During the dry season, when visibility opens up and shrubs grow low, They use the open terrain to surround and drive their prey into well-calculated dead ends. Packs usually hunt at dawn or in the late afternoon when the heat has eased and prey is most exhausted. Once they lock onto a target, they don't give up. Able to sustain speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour for several minutes, combined with their sharp turns and tireless persistence, they can wear down even large herds through sheer, relentless pressure. African wild dogs don't need to drink water as often as many other animals. They get most of their hydration from the organs and blood of their prey, which contains 70 to 80% water. When they do drink, it's usually early in the morning or late in the day, when temperatures are cooler and there's less risk of running into rivals. They move in packs to waterholes, always leaving a few on guard while the others lower their heads to drink, quickly, cautiously, and then they move on. When not hunting, they divide responsibilities, finding waterholes, guarding pups, and watching over their territory. Despite the dry conditions, they are not just surviving, they're thriving. But that's not the case everywhere. Across Africa, the African wild dog population is critically low. Fewer than 6,600 individuals remain, with fewer than 1,400 mature adults. Classified as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, this elite wild canine faces a fragile future. Threats loom from every direction: diseases from domestic dogs, human conflict, habitat loss due to agricultural development, and reproductive isolation caused by fragmented populations. Packs are being driven out, migration routes cut off, and their natural ability to regenerate in the wild is fading. Amid these growing challenges, North Luangwa stands as one of their last strongholds. North Luangwa remains a quiet fortress, where wild dog populations are strictly protected, living within an untouched wilderness and maintaining their complex social structure. It is now home to one of Zambia's largest populations of African wild dogs, second only to its neighbor, South Luangwa. Here, the North Luangwa Conservation Program, in partnership with international organizations and the Zambian Carnivore Program, has launched rescue initiatives. These efforts help establish continuous habitat corridors, monitor each wild dog pack, and prevent disease through vaccination and genetic tracking. Equally important, community education around the park has significantly reduced conflict between people and wildlife. One of the key reasons leopards must haul their prey into trees quickly is the presence of spotted hyena clans, famous for stealing kills and ready to take action at any moment. But in the dry Mopane savanna of North Luangwa, the spotted hyena asserts its role as a formidable predator, not merely the thief it's so often mistaken for. Although there are no specific reports on spotted hyena populations in North Luangwa, comparisons to similar ecosystems like the Serengeti and Ngorongoro crater offer a glimpse into their potential lives here. Contrary to the common misconception that spotted hyenas are mainly scavengers, they are actually highly skilled hunters. According to research by Hans Kruk, up to 98% of their food comes from active hunting, sometimes matching the effectiveness of lions. Even with a hunting success rate of just around 30%, their persistence allows them to thrive in intensely competitive environments. Spotted hyenas live within a matriarchal social structure, led by older females, which enhances group hunting efficiency. They often form large clans of 20 to 80 individuals, with a complex social hierarchy similar to that of Cercopithecine monkeys, providing strong support for coordinated hunting and territory defense. Hunting typically takes place during nighttime and the early morning hours. When the air is cool and low, dry grass makes it easier to approach prey. They reach average chase speeds of 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, sustained for up to 5 minutes, long enough to bring down prey before losing momentum. The hyena's jaw has been compared to a steel clamp, with a bite force among the strongest in the Hyenidae family, up to 4,500 newtons. This immense power allows it to crush even the largest bones from giraffes or buffalo. This bone-cracking ability helps them sustain energy during the dry season when food is harder to come by. In North Luangwa, spotted hyenas also serve as nature's cleanup crew, consuming every remaining scrap and playing a key role in the natural cycle. As water becomes scarce during the dry season, spotted hyena clans gather near isolated waterholes, hotspots that also attract herbivores, turning into communal feeding grounds. What's notable is that when they lose a hard-earned catch to stronger individuals, hyenas often regroup and reclaim it through sheer numbers and persistence, their skill and coordination often surpassing that of solitary predators like the leopard. Another predator that consistently claims a top spot on the list in North Luangwa is the leopard, scientifically known as Panthera pardus. With a sleek, agile body and a rosette-patterned coat that nearly disappears under the dappled sunlight filtering through the canopy, it takes full advantage of the few remaining shadows in this landscape to approach its prey. Hasty paw prints pressed into hard soil, eyes glinting beneath sparse leaves, and a fresh catch being dragged up into the mopane branches. A familiar tactic, but one that never loses its edge. In a land where lion and spotted hyena hunt the same targets, stashing a meal in the trees is a matter of survival for the leopard. What's remarkable is that they can haul prey twice their body weight up into tall, sloping branches, a feat of stamina and precision. There isn't much shade to rest in, and even fewer open water sources. But the leopard doesn't need that. It gets most of its water intake from its prey, a trait that allows this big cat to remain steady amid the dry, rugged mopane landscape. The remaining waterholes lie deep among rock outcrops or beneath shadowed mopane hollows. These are also where antelope and warthog often gather, creating quiet but promising hunting grounds. The leopard usually strikes from higher ground or through dense cover, timing its approach at dawn or dusk, when light is low and its prey's senses are dulled. After a lightning-fast pounce, reaching speeds of 36 to 58 kilometers per hour, it drags the carcass away from the scene, vanishing as if it were never there. Few people know that leopards can swim. They're not natural swimmers like tigers, but they can cross shallow streams or pursue prey across broken creek beds, a true testament to their adaptability. And here's another interesting detail. If you've ever seen a black panther and thought it was an entirely different species of cat, that's a common misconception. They're not a separate species at all, but leopards with a genetic mutation for melanin, giving them a deep black coat. In low light, if you look closely, you can still make out the ghostly rosette patterns faintly visible on their dark fur, like a living shadow gliding through the forest, both familiar and mysterious. Standing out against the grassland backdrop, the Cooksan's wildebeest moves steadily forward, each step echoing a rhythm of survival woven deep into its lifeblood. As a subspecies unique to the Luangwa Valley, This group of wildebeest lives in large herds, known for their sturdy build, compact horns and ears, and remarkable tolerance for dry conditions. During the dry season, they keep moving to find the last patches of grass or young mopan leaves to replace the now scarce fresh grass, their primary food source. They face predators that use the low shrubs and open terrain to stage ambushes. To stay safe, they stick close in large numbers, stay constantly alert, lower their heads, clash horns with would-be hunters, and shield their calves in a tight circle, a survival tactic that works. This population shows extraordinary endurance. They can travel hundreds of kilometers and climb rugged slopes in search of food and water, a rare feat among wildebeest subspecies. When the rains return, mothers quickly give birth after about 8.5 months of pregnancy, following the same reproductive strategy as blue wildebeest. Unlike the wildebeest, the honey badger doesn't choose defense. It faces venomous snakes and large predators head-on. When dust coats the ground and grass disappears, it still hunts alone, weaving through dry thickets with a low, solid gait and sharp, alert eyes. What makes this small creature stand out is its almost unbelievable boldness. Measuring just about 70 centimeters in length and weighing under 12 kilograms, it carries a fearless spirit that even larger predators approach with caution. If you believe size determines dominance, the honey badger will make you think again. When faced with bigger hunters, it doesn't run. Instead, it turns around, growls, and lunges straight at its opponent's face or legs. Its secret lies in its thick, loose skin, allowing it to twist and counter even when pinned down. Its strong jaws can pierce through tough hides, and the scent gland at its rear can send any challenger retreating. But more remarkable still is its resistance to snake venom. The honey badger's body has a unique mutation in the nicotinic acetylcholine receptor, the very receptor snake venom targets to paralyze the nervous system. This mutation changes the shape of the receptor, preventing venom from dangerous snakes like the puff adder or cobra from binding effectively. So, even after being bitten, the honey badger may pass out for a few hours, then wake up, get back on its feet, and resume the hunt. But the honey badger isn't just a master of defense. It's a bold, opportunistic hunter, digging into hard soil, raiding insect nests, crunching small bones, cracking open rodent shells, and even devouring beehives, unfazed by stings. Some individuals have even been observed trailing leopard tracks, waiting for leftovers. If the Mopain Savanna is a harsh challenge, then the Luangwa River floodplain is the heart of hope, a place that holds on to the last lifelines during the dry season. The Luangwa River floodplain is one of the most vital and dynamic ecosystems within North Luangwa National Park. During the dry season, as the flow of the Luangwa River dwindles, the entire floodplain undergoes a dramatic transformation. As the water recedes, muddy flats emerge, forming narrow but nutrient-rich wetlands, a rare lifeline for flood-tolerant vegetation and short grasses growing along the banks. A giant cat Reigning at the top of the ecosystem, the lion is preparing to enter the dry season's battle for survival. As the Luangwa River slowly retreats, the floodplains become dotted with isolated waterholes, unwilling gathering points for both prey and predators. And in this setting, the lion takes center stage in the entire biological chain. Unlike other big cats like the leopard or cheetah, the lion, scientifically known as Panthera leo, is the only one that lives in tightly knit social groups, with each individual holding a defined role. Lionesses are in charge of hunting, working together in a fan-like formation to surround their target, often large mammals. They are smaller, faster, and better positioned for coordinated group chases. Male lions, though larger and more powerful, spend most of their time defending territory and protecting the pride, especially the young. In the harsh dry season, where low grass and leafless trees create clear sightlines, lions make full use of shadows and riverbank ridges for ambush, turning the floodplain into an ideal hunting stage. Most hunts take place at dawn or dusk to avoid the daytime heat that can reach up to 35 degrees Celsius. Each hunt lasts just a few minutes, but is carefully planned. When the prey is taken down, the male eats first, regardless of the lioness's efforts, reflecting the species' distinct social hierarchy. Throughout the dry season, lion prides also claim waterholes to survive and to control prey migration, a form of ecological dominance. Their presence even forces herbivores to adjust their movement and feeding patterns, indirectly helping preserve the riverside vegetation structure. According to 2024 data from the Zambian Carnivore Program, North Luangwa has one of the highest lion densities in Zambia, with over 8 individuals per 100 square kilometers. This impressive density indicates a strong enough ecosystem to support a top-tier predator. Lions are also known for a unique behavior: roaring together, a synchronized call that strengthens social bonds and asserts territorial claim. In the dry floodplain, that roar can echo up to 8 kilometers, a silent message. This territory is not easily taken. In this unforgiving land, the lion is not just a predator. It is a symbol of power, discipline, and order. These traits are what keep them firmly at the top of the ecological pyramid during the searing dry season in North Luangwa. In this sweltering heat, one might assume that the giants would struggle most. But the African elephant stands as a mighty warrior, battling the elements with grace. Within the Luangwa River floodplain, elephant herds have endured for thousands of years, even actively reshaping the ecosystem through their intelligence, unity, and extraordinary adaptability. This species exhibits a classic matriarchal social structure, with each herd led by an older female. Her leadership isn't based on strength, but on spatial memory and decision-making skills, crucial factors in guiding the herd through the harsh, dry season. African elephant herds can travel up to 30 kilometers per day in search of water, relying on the matriarch's ability to recall dozens of seasonal water sources with remarkable precision. But their impact goes beyond water seeking. African elephants make mud. Using their tusks or front legs, they can break through hardened soil to form shallow depressions that temporarily hold water. This behavior benefits many smaller species as well. That's why, in ecology, elephants are known as ecosystem engineers. Their trunk, containing more than 40,000 individual muscles, is a survival tool. African elephants use this remarkable organ to pluck leaves, snap branches, dig for water beneath cracked earth, and even create water holes for other animals. A single adult elephant can draw up 10 to 12 liters of water in one go, helping its body stay regulated even as daytime temperatures exceed 35 degrees Celsius. This region is also referred to as Zambia's elephant stronghold due to its high population density and visible social dynamics. Beyond sharing food and helping raise young, elephants also exhibit mourning rituals for fallen members, something incredibly rare in the animal kingdom. Amid the dry and risk-laden floodplain, their endurance, discipline, and emotional depth have made the African elephant one of Africa's most socially profound and resilient creatures. The dry season brings about a synchronized rhythm among many animal species, and Crochet's zebra also rises early to begin its daily journey of survival. This is a subspecies unique to the Luangwa Valley, easily recognized by its dense black stripes with no brown shadowing in between. On the shallow savanna of the Luangwa River floodplain, zebra herds gather early along the grassy riverbanks, areas that still hold moisture and fresh young plants. Data from the Frankfurt Zoological Society shows that during the dry season, zebra herds, like other grazers, must travel tens of kilometers each day in search of water and tender grasses. Their survival hinges on moving in large groups, which offers protection from predators and helps quickly locate water sources. As the Luangwa River recedes, isolated water holes become gathering points for all life. Experienced zebras lead the herd there early in the morning before the sun climbs to a scorching 33 degrees Celsius. This timing allows them to drink sufficiently and feed on moisture-rich grasses, minimizing the need to travel further during the heat of the day. The tougher the conditions, the more small animals reveal their hidden strengths. The caracal is a medium-sized wild cat, easily recognized by its upright ears tipped with black tufts, like desert antennae. And it's this unique feature that helps it pinpoint sounds with remarkable accuracy across the busy Luangwa River floodplain. Rather than competing with larger predators, it follows its own distinct strategy, targeting small prey, stalking silently, and striking in a flash. With vertical leaps reaching up to 3 meters, the caracal can snatch birds straight from mid-air. In North Luangwa, caracals show a relatively high survival rate during the dry season among small cats, thanks to their flexible diet and superb ability to hide within the still damp mudflats along the river. Also a large animal that prefers to keep a low profile near swamps and cool mudflats, the African buffalo often uses these spots to regulate body temperature and fend off insects and parasites. But in the dry season, the top priority shifts to fulfilling its role as a great family that dominates the Luangwa River floodplain in a collective effort to survive. Buffalo herds can reach into the hundreds, gathering around isolated water holes, where the remaining water becomes vital during this parched season. According to a report by Crafted Africa, these herds are sometimes so massive they're described as huge herds, occasionally reaching up to 1,000 individuals. During the dry months, when daytime temperatures soar to 35 degrees Celsius with no rain, African buffaloes depend mainly on riverside grasses and moist mudflats for grazing and drinking. Each day, the herd moves an average of 4 to 6 kilometers, searching for food and hidden water sources within the mud, based on observed behavior from Ruaha National Park in Tanzania. Though they are prime targets for lions and other large predators, African buffaloes are far from easy prey. When cornered, the herd can form a living wall, horns raised high, ready to counter. This defensive formation is enough to make even lions think twice. African buffaloes play a key role in the upper food chain and help create focal points of life, influencing the migration habits of other grazers. As noted by an ecologist from North Luangwa Conservation in 2023, buffalo keep the floodplain from falling silent. They are the connective thread of the entire ecosystem. As the dry season closes with its final hot gusts and the ground begins to soften under the first drops of rain, North Luangwa enters a completely different. As floodwaters cover the plains, more adaptable species turn toward higher ground, where the escarpment Miombo quietly transforms with the arrival of the rains. The rugged plateau edge of North Luangwa takes on an entirely new appearance when the first rains fall. Stretching across elevations from 900 to over 1,300 meters, this landscape was shaped by ancient geological faults, forming sheer cliffs and narrow valleys surrounded by the region's signature Miombo woodland. With the onset of the rainy season, the once hardened red soil is moistened, triggering a dramatic resurgence of life. As peak rainy season paints the slopes of the escarpment Miombo in lush green, troops of vervet monkeys quickly seize the opportunity to reorganize their way of life. Low-hanging Brachystegia branches, where soft light filters through the damp forest canopy, become ideal shelters for troops ranging from 10 to 50 individuals. With their silvery gray coats and distinct black faces, vervet monkeys are easy to identify. But their social behavior makes them even more remarkable. They often stay near water sources or forest edges, where tree roots retain moisture and attract small creatures that serve as food. Their seasonal memory allows vervets to know exactly when and where syzygium or marula trees begin to bear fruit. This helps them move strategically and conserve energy efficiently. Vervets possess a highly complex vocal alarm system. Each type of call alerts the group to different threats, from snakes to birds of prey. During the rainy season, when thick foliage and falling rain muffle sound, this system becomes even more vital for group safety. Though primarily fruit eaters, vervet monkeys play a key role in seed dispersal and insect control, helping to stabilize the Miombo ecosystem along the escarpment's edge. They may lack large size or aggression, but vervet monkeys stand as a testament to intelligence, perseverance, and adaptability, traits essential to surviving in this rain-drenched, challenging terrain. While most animals flock to the lowlands during the rainy season to enjoy the abundance of water, the roan antelope chooses a different path. It heads up into the escarpment Miombo, where the forest comes back to life and mist blankets the foothills. With a sturdy frame reaching up to 2.4 meters in length and weighing as much as 300 kilograms, this antelope is one of the largest species on the African continent. Its most distinctive feature, easily recognizable from afar, is the pair of curved horns sweeping backward and a striking black and white face that resembles an ancient mask. The rainy season creates ideal conditions for roan antelope to break away from larger herds and live in smaller groups of 5 to 10 individuals in open woodland. This helps reduce competition for food and avoid the high predator density of the floodplain. Abundant rainfall allows Miombo vegetation to regenerate quickly, providing tall, nutrient-rich grasses, perfect for their broad muzzle. The roan antelope's mouth structure is a key evolutionary trait that enhances its ability to adapt. Unlike many antelope species with narrow snouts, the roan antelope has a wide muzzle and strong jaws, covered by thick lips. This allows them to tear and chew coarse, tall grasses, often found in clumps along forest edges and hillsides. The thick canopy and deep leaf litter of the escarpment Miombo create a hunting paradise for the banded mongoose. This small carnivore lives in groups of 10 to over 40 individuals, moving constantly through rock crevices, dense undergrowth, and the bases of large trees, like a well-coordinated scout team. Each group has clearly defined roles. Some individuals scout ahead, others stand guard, and the rest dig through the soft soil in search of prey. What's most remarkable is their ability to hunt snakes, including venomous species like the puff adder. When a target is spotted, the group surrounds it and uses a coordinated distraction and counter strategy to quickly subdue the prey. Rain triggers an explosion of insects and amphibians, creating a rich food supply for the banded mongoose. At the same time, the dense forest canopy and rocky terrain offer excellent cover from larger predators. In a season when the forest bursts to life, small but united species like these become key players, controlling snake and insect populations and helping to keep the Miombo woodland ecosystem in balance. And what if we look upward, toward the towering cliffs? There, you'll find the southern carmine bee-eater, a bird cloaked in vivid pink-red, standing out boldly against the lush green of the escarpment Miombo during the rainy season. As vegetation blankets the rocky slopes, flocks of bee-eaters appear in full force, moving like hovering dancers in pursuit of flying insects. This bird is small, with a wingspan of only 30 to 35 centimeters, yet its speed and aerial agility are truly remarkable. They primarily feed on bees, butterflies, dragonflies, and other flying insects, hunting by darting from high branches or gliding low along cliff faces. One of their most distinctive behaviors is communal nesting. Dozens to hundreds of pairs dig into soft earthen banks near streams or hillsides, creating a dense network of nesting tunnels. Each burrow can reach 1 to 2 meters deep, providing protection for eggs and chicks from harsh weather and predators. The rainy season is both breeding time and a grand stage for the southern carmine bee-eater to display its beauty and its extraordinary survival skills in the heart of the wild mountain forest. At the Luangwa River floodplain, as rainfall intensifies from December onward, the Luangwa River expands its reach, spilling over the banks to form a network of channels and oxbow lagoons. Fresh grass shoots up at an astonishing rate, partly fueled by the rich sediment deposited during each river swell. As a result, animals spread out more widely and gather less frequently in single locations, even though the floodplain remains the central hub of activity. The rainy season in the Luangwa River floodplain is a time of renewal, and it is also the story of the black rhinoceros here. When the first rains fall, the ground softens and vegetation explodes into life. This is when the black rhino enters its most active phase of the year. Unlike the dry season, when they stay hidden in dense thickets to conserve moisture, the rainy season allows rhinos to expand their territory, move more freely, and graze constantly to build up energy. With softened ground, they use their horns and feet to scrape paths and trails through tall grass, both to forage and to mark territory. The behavior of rubbing horns against tree trunks is observed more frequently during the wet season, partly instinctive, partly to remove mud and debris clinging to their skin. Each individual can consume up to 50 kilograms of grass and leaves per day, helping manage vegetation and maintain the ecological balance along the riverside. Because they are solitary and extremely sensitive to sound, black rhinos often visit muddy flats and shallow waterholes in the early morning. Beyond drinking, they coat themselves in mud, which helps repel insects and cool their skin in the humid heat of the rainy season. Observations from 2024 have also recorded an increase in sightings near open clearings, reflecting their flexible behavior as young grass spreads across the floodplain. Classified as critically endangered, the black rhinoceros vanished from Zambia for nearly 2 decades. But its steady recovery in North Luangwa, the only region with a naturally regenerating population, has become a symbol of success in wildlife conservation. And now, every quiet step they take in the rainy season stands as proof that nature can heal if given the right protection, just like the original call in Genesis 2:15. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it, to serve and care for creation with faithful stewardship. The return of the black rhino is both a biological triumph and a powerful response to the sacred responsibility humanity was entrusted with from the beginning. In contrast, amid the flood-soaked Luangwa River floodplain, the African clawless otter appears like a graceful water dancer. Unlike ambush predators such as the Nile crocodile that lie in wait, the otter glides effortlessly, using its dexterous front paws to snatch up small fish, shrimp, and crabs. It then swims ashore, where it can eat and play at the edge of deep water and murky mud. According to a 2024 study by Stephanie Giselle Nicolaides from the University of Western Cape, otters have a rather unusual hunting method. They use their long whiskers and nimble paws to scoop prey from beneath the muddy layer, demonstrating remarkable adaptation to the rain-heavy, sediment-rich floodplain environment. This behavior is most commonly observed in the late afternoon, when competition with larger predators like leopards or crocodiles is reduced. An adult clawless otter typically lives alone, occasionally appearing in small groups of 2 to 3 during the breeding season. Thanks to excellent thermoregulation, they can swim continuously for hours in high water levels without losing body heat. Clawless otters are omnivores. Fish make up the bulk of their diet, accounting for over 60% of total biomass, according to floodplain data in Zambia. Some individuals have even been seen trailing fishermen to scavenge fish caught in nets, further evidence of their flexible foraging habits. Amid the vast waterscape, with their deliberate swimming, muddy bank foraging, and whisker-guided hunting through aquatic vegetation, the African clawless otter is a living emblem of adaptability in the Luangwa ecosystem. They may not be the strongest, but they are perfect survivors in nature's ever-changing rhythms. As the rainy season returns to North Luangwa, the Luangwa River rises and spreads into a network of winding channels and oxbow lagoons across the floodplain. This is also the time when the Nile crocodile, an ancient creature dating back to the time of dinosaurs, enters its most effective hunting season of the year. Hidden beneath murky water, with only its eyes and part of its snout visible, the Nile crocodile is the very definition of ecological invisibility. By remaining completely still, it blends seamlessly into the landscape, leaving prey unaware of the danger until it's far too late. Nile crocodiles are massive. Adult individuals average between 4 and 6 meters in length and can weigh up to 600 kilograms. But what truly sets them apart is their extraordinary bite force, 22,400 newtons, equal to over 2.2 metric tons of pressure. This is one of the strongest bite forces ever recorded in the animal kingdom, far exceeding that of lions or any other predators in North Luangwa. Their hunting strategy is based on surprise and absolute control. When prey, often fish, water birds, or animals coming to drink, enters range, the strike is delivered with near instant speed. The target is then pulled into the water and subjected to a death roll, a violent spinning motion that tears flesh, breaks bones, and eliminates resistance in seconds. According to research by Vladimir Dinets at the University of Tennessee, published in Ethology, Ecology, and Evolution, Nile crocodiles do not always hunt alone. This behavior, known as temporary group coordination, has been observed during large fish runs, an extremely rare phenomenon among reptiles. In the rainy season, as prey spreads out, Nile crocodiles position themselves strategically in shallow waters, exploiting bottlenecks like narrow streams, river mouths, or muddy banks to increase hunting success. Even more fascinating, crocodiles can hold their breath for up to 2 hours, thanks to an unusually high tolerance for lactic acid buildup in their blood. This allows them to stake out deep water ambushes or wait patiently for the perfect moment, without ever surfacing. Another large animal that fully comes to life during the rainy season in the Luangwa River floodplain is the hippopotamus. As the Luangwa River rises, spilling into side channels and oxbow lagoons, the hippo becomes the undisputed ruler of the shallow waters. Throughout the day, they remain submerged, barely moving, to regulate body temperature, surfacing only every few minutes to breathe before slipping back underwater. But when dusk falls, the hippos quietly leave the river, following well-worn trails to the flooded grasslands, where each individual may consume up to 40 kilograms of fresh grass each night. The rainy season is a time for both feeding and breeding, and dominant males become especially territorial and aggressive. Clashes are frequent as they battle for position within the herd and access to females, resulting in dramatic confrontations across misty waters. Weighing up to 1,800 kilograms and capable of opening their jaws to 150 degrees, the hippopotamus has no real rivals in this environment. While adult hippos are generally avoided by predators, the calves remain vulnerable, making vigilance and protection a constant duty for the larger individuals. According to a recent study published in Scientific Research Publishing in 2024, North Luangwa now records the highest hippopotamus density in the world along the Luangwa River. In North Luangwa National Park, numbers reach 35 to 48 individuals per kilometer of river, with an estimated total population between 5,000 and 7,000. Far more than just large animals lounging in water, hippopotamuses serve as ecological architects of the rainy season. Their muck-spreading behavior helps redistribute nutrients throughout the water, promoting the growth of aquatic vegetation and supporting the entire underwater food web. When the rainy season floods the floodplain, no species makes better use of the water, biologically, ecologically, and strategically, than the hippopotamus. That's the story along the rivers, but if you shift your gaze skyward, you'll spot a striking white figure soaring above the wild backdrop of North Luangwa. It's most likely the saddle-billed stork, with a wingspan nearing 2.7 meters and a bold contrast of black and white plumage. This giant stork easily draws attention, yet remains a remarkably discreet hunter. The rainy season becomes the perfect stage for the saddle-billed stork to showcase its hunting prowess. Using its signature red and yellow bill like a blade slicing through water, it swiftly plucks up fish, frogs, or aquatic insects with near-perfect precision. Unlike many other stork species that travel in flocks, this one lives and hunts either solo or in pairs, maintaining clear territorial boundaries. The consistent presence of the saddle-billed stork in North Luangwa has been regularly recorded through the 2024 bird monitoring system. This reflects the health and integrity of the wetland ecosystem, an environment highly sensitive to shifts in climate and water flow. Along the western coast of South America, a colossal wall of stone rises beneath the blue sky. This is the Andes, the longest mountain range on Earth. Stretching over 8,900 kilometers across 7 countries, from Venezuela all the way to Argentina, the Andes is more than just a natural boundary. It is where the land meets the sky, the spine of the continent, a witness to millions of years of the planet's shifting crust. The Andes landscape is like a living painting, shifting with every meter of elevation. Starting from the lowland tropical forests, known as the Ceja de Montaña, or mountain eyebrow, the forest gradually transforms into misty cloud forest. Climbing higher leads to the cold Paramo grasslands, where tough grasses, low shrubs, and remarkable water-storing plants thrive. Reaching up to 4,500 meters, the polylepis tree still holds its ground, with twisted trunks and paper-like bark, a living testament to survival where oxygen runs thin. The climate along the Andes is a complex symphony of ocean winds, altitude, and terrain. To the west, where the mountains meet the Pacific Ocean, the air is often dry. This is the region known as the Dry Andes, shaped by rain shadow effects and the cold Humboldt Current. In contrast, the eastern slopes receive moist winds from the Amazon Basin and the Caribbean Sea, creating a lush, wet mountain zone where cloud forests and montane rainforests flourish. Nestled between 2 branches of the Andes, the Altiplano Puna Plateau sits at an elevation of 3,700 meters, stretching from southern Peru through Bolivia to northern Chile and northwestern Argentina. Though not a fertile land, this region became the foundation of the largest indigenous civilization in South America. The climate here is harsh and unpredictable. Daytime temperatures can be mild, reaching up to 15 degrees Celsius, but after sunset, they quickly plunge to -5 degrees Celsius or lower. The landscape of the Altiplano Puna is mostly open grasslands, dotted with small wetlands in lower areas where meltwater from the surrounding mountains gathers to form temporary ecosystems. In more humid areas, the presence of high-altitude grasslands and marshes creates small wetlands that retain water and maintain moisture throughout the year. Beneath these low-lying plants lies a layer of peat that has formed over thousands of years, with an average thickness of around 4.7 meters. It was on this land that the Inca developed techniques to use native vegetation for livestock, domesticate animals adapted to high elevations, and learn to harness water sources from melting snow and ice. On the Puna Altiplano Plateau, the top resident predator is the culpeo, also known as the Andean fox. But it is not a true fox. The culpeo belongs to the genus Lycalopex, making it more closely related to wolves and jackals than to its northern red fox cousins. An adult male can weigh up to 11.4 kilograms, making it the second largest member of the Canidae family in South America, after the maned wolf. The culpeo ranges throughout the Andes, from the temperate rainforests of southern Chile to the dry deserts and icy highlands of the north. Its survival in these extreme environments has become a symbol of adaptation. In the Altiplano Puna region, where daily temperature swings can reach 25 degrees Celsius and oxygen levels hover around just 60% of sea level, culpeos are able to regulate body heat, remain agile, and continue hunting effectively. Ecological studies published by the Patagonia Institute of Ecology show that individuals living between 4,000 and 4,800 meters tend to be more compact, conserving energy and adapting their reproductive cycles to the harsh highland climate. The culpeo's diet is classified as highly flexible. It is an opportunistic predator, meaning it adjusts its diet with the seasons and available resources. About 60% of its food intake comes from highland rodents. When those are scarce during the dry season, it shifts to eating small birds, lizards, eggs, and sometimes berries or carrion, including guanaco or camelid, remains left behind after seasonal hunts. There have been rare cases where culpeos prey on lambs, an uncommon behavior but one that has caused conflict with humans in certain grazing areas, particularly along the Argentina-Chile border, leading to persecution in those zones. The culpeo's hunting strategy is a blend of stealth, patience, and bursts of speed. Rather than overpowering prey, it relies on its sharp hearing to detect faint sounds of movement beneath the grass. On rugged terrain and among low vegetation, it moves almost silently. When it strikes, it launches with a quick, decisive leap, delivering a bite to the neck or head to swiftly subdue small prey. The culpeo's evolutionary history includes an unexpected chapter: domestication. The Yagan people of Tierra del Fuego once domesticated this animal, creating the Fuegian dog, a dog breed genetically unrelated to modern domestic dogs, which trace their lineage to the grey wolf. The Fuegian dog is a rare example of independent animal domestication in South America, though the breed became extinct in the 20th century due to cultural and lifestyle changes among indigenous communities. Today, the culpeo continues to play a vital role in the highland food chain. It helps regulate rodent populations, an essential check to prevent ecological imbalance. Familiar to indigenous peoples across South America, the guanaco is the wild ancestor of the llama, domesticated since the time of the Inca. With a slender build, standing about 107 to 122 centimeters tall and weighing around 90 kilograms, deep black eyes, and long lashes that shield against wind and dust, the guanaco emerges as a symbol of grace amid the grey, rugged landscape. Its coat is made up of two layers, a soft underlayer for warmth close to the skin, and a coarse outer layer that shields against the biting cold winds. Their colors range from light brown to cinnamon with white bellies, blending seamlessly with the muted grays and browns of the Puna grasslands and salt-covered slopes. The Altiplano does not offer life an easy path, yet the guanaco's body has adapted to the harsh rhythm of this land. Like the ancient Inca, their blood holds an unusually high concentration of red blood cells, rich in hemoglobin with a strong affinity for oxygen. This allows them to absorb oxygen efficiently, even in an atmosphere where oxygen levels hover around just 60% of what they are at sea level. Thick foot pads and 2 nimble toes help them cross slippery gravel, cracked salt flats, and steep mountain slopes like seasoned athletes, reaching speeds of up to 56 kilometers per hour. Guanacos live in herds. One dominant male leads a group of females and their young. Younger males without territories form bachelor groups, moving along their own paths, like warriors waiting for their time. Their communication is rich and varied, from sharp warning calls and forceful backward kicks to the curious act of spitting, a behavior that carries powerful messages about dominance and social boundaries. Across the Altiplano Puna region, the guanaco's journey of survival follows migration routes guided by the cycles of water and grass. During the dry season, they descend to lower areas where patches of marshland still collect meltwater. When the rains return and the highlands flood and become difficult to traverse, they move upward again to avoid the rising waters and the renewed activity of predators. Rising above the limits of human habitation, Llanka, the snowbound zone of the Andes, spans elevations from 4,800 to nearly 6,900 meters. This is where South America's tallest peaks rise, stretching along the entire spine of the Andes from north to south. The climate here is brutally unforgiving. Temperatures remain below 0 degrees Celsius year-round, winds are fierce, precipitation is minimal and mostly in the form of snow. With intense solar radiation and thin air, this realm sits beyond the threshold of life. Though it hosts no permanent life, Llanka plays a vital ecological role. Glacial ice accumulates snow during the cold season and slowly melts during the dry season, supplying water to lower elevations. From 2000 to 2019, meltwater flow in the Andes averaged 583.5 cubic meters per second. In the Inca worldview, Llanka was the sacred domain of the Apu, guardian mountain spirits, worshipped as symbols of strength and life. Though no one lived at these heights, the Inca journeyed here to perform ceremonial offerings and to reinforce spiritual authority. Meltwater from the glaciers was considered a gift from the Apu, channeled to nourish terraced fields, valleys, and irrigation systems throughout the Andes. The Andean condor is more than a symbol, it is a marvel of adaptation. Weighing up to 15 kilograms and with a wingspan reaching 3.3 meters, it ranks among the largest flying birds in the world. In flight, it appears as a massive black shadow sweeping across the snowy sky like a silent eagle. What makes this bird extraordinary is that, despite its size, it flaps its wings for only about 1% of its flight time. For the vast majority of its journey, it glides effortlessly, perfectly riding thermal currents and mountain winds to stay aloft. One study recorded a single Andean condor flying continuously for over 5 hours, covering 172 kilometers, without flapping its wings once. In the perilous frigid air of the Llanka zone, that ability is a key to survival. On sheer cliff faces rising above 5,000 meters, far beyond where humans can go, Andean condors nest. They reproduce slowly, laying just one egg every 2 years, and incubation takes nearly 2 months. Once hatched, the chick relies on its parents for close to 2 years, undergoing careful training to survive in the treacherous skies above the valleys. It's a slow life cycle, but a necessary one, as Andean condors can live up to 70 years, with some in captivity reaching 79. This long life, paired with a low reproductive rate, makes every individual irreplaceably valuable. Today, fewer than 6,700 mature Andean condors remain worldwide. In Ecuador, the population has dwindled to fewer than 150 individuals. In Colombia, estimates range from 175 to 269. These are the latest figures as of 2024, reported by conservation groups across the Andes. Shrinking habitats, dwindling food sources, poisoning, and reckless hunting have caused the condor to disappear silently from many skies. Across the misty Andean heavens, a dark shape with a wingspan over 3 meters glides through the cold air like a blade. Its mastery of wind currents allows it to remain perfectly balanced with minimal effort. Its sharp eyes follow the faint, uneven breath of a lone animal below. Down below, a lone animal stumbles across the drifted snow. Its back arched, legs buckling, breath rasping. It has run out of strength. The Andean condor locks on immediately, widening its circle while slowly lowering its altitude in quiet anticipation. Then, the animal collapses in silence. No cry, no movement. In that instant, the condor folds its wings and dives with precise speed. It lands beside the fallen body, its bald head plunging deep into the belly. Everything is done with practiced ease, as if it's performed this ritual 1,000 times. The oil glands in its feathers protect it from getting wet, even while standing amid melting snow. And the bare skin on its head keeps it clean while feeding deep inside decaying flesh. A massive scavenger with a rugged exterior. Yet to the indigenous cultures of the Andes, the Andean condor is anything but ordinary. To them, it is an eternal emblem of freedom and spirit. In Inca mythology, the condor is a divine messenger, the carrier of souls to Hanan Pacha, the sacred world above. The snowy peaks of Janca, where the sun seems closer than anywhere else, were believed to be the home of the Apu, the mountain gods. And when the condor soars across that cold sky, people believe it carries their prayers to Inti, the sun god, the supreme source of life. This belief echoes the faith in Christianity, that a soul after death ascends to the heavens, closer to God, in a sacred and transcendent journey. The snowbound mountains of Janca test the limits of life. From 2000 to 2019, glaciers across the Andes melted at an average rate of 583.5 cubic meters per second, forming streams that flow into the valleys below. For the Andean condor, these waters signal the presence of life and are often where death is first found. But to the Inca, those waters were a gift from the Apu, a divine offering that nourished the rich landscapes below. Higher than the cold, arid plains where the guanaco endures, at elevations around 4,800 meters in the snowy peaks of the Andes, another creature quietly braves the punishing climate and breathless altitude. The vicuña is not large. It has no claws, no extraordinary speed, yet it carries something the entire world covets: its coat. Each fiber of its wool measures just 12 microns in diameter, finer than cashmere, which is already famed for its softness. A delicate layer of tiny scales coats the surface of each strand, locking out the cold air and forming a naturally perfect thermal barrier. Thanks to this, even when nighttime temperatures in the Janca zone fall below -20 degrees Celsius, the vicuña's small body retains the warmth it needs to survive. That very coat once pushed them to the edge of extinction. By the 1970s, only about 6,000 vicuñas remained in the Andes after decades of relentless hunting for their prized fiber. But a joint effort between the government of Peru, conservation organizations, and local communities sparked a recovery. People no longer hunted them for their wool, but revived an ancient ritual known as chaku. Every 2 to 3 years, wild vicuñas are gently herded into safe enclosures. Their wool is sheared with care, and then they are released back into the wild. No wounds, no chains. In Inca culture, the vicuña symbolized purity and sacredness. Killing them was strictly forbidden. Their wool was reserved solely for the garments of royalty and nobility. Today, the vicuña appears proudly on the coat of arms of Peru, a symbol of biological richness and sustainable heritage. Living at elevations between 3,200 and 4,800 meters, where oxygen levels are barely half of those at sea level, vicuñas possess blood with an unusually high concentration of red blood cells, enabling highly efficient oxygen transport. It's a nearly perfect adaptation to thin, frigid air, strikingly similar to highland-adapted humans. Additionally, their front teeth grow continuously throughout their lives. In an environment where food consists mostly of tough, silica-rich grasses with minimal nutrition, those teeth must stay ever ready to resist constant wear. But life in the cold heights has never been easy. An old vicuña collapses among snow and wind. No cry, no sign of a predator, only time, quietly freezing its final breath. On the towering rocky slope, passing does not come violently. It is silent, like an offering. To the ancient Inca, snow-covered peaks were more than stone and ice. They were the closest place to the gods, where sacred rituals were carried out in hopes of summoning water to return to the fields below. And now, from the edge of the horizon, the Andean condor appears. It circles slowly, like a ritual from another time. Unlike the cold, harsh Puna Altiplano of southern Peru, the eastern and central slopes of the Andes, stretching into northern Peru, are home to a region often described as the sponge of the Andes. This is the wet Paramo, a moist highland plateau found at elevations between 3,000 and 4,500 meters, primarily in Colombia, Ecuador, and northern Peru. Average temperatures range from just 2 to 10 degrees Celsius, with annual rainfall between 1,000 and 2,000 millimeters, spread fairly evenly throughout the year. The soil here is often waterlogged, rich in organic material, and has a remarkable ability to retain moisture thanks to the root systems of native plants. The thick layer of vegetation and organic soil absorbs water from rain, fog, and underground springs, slowly releasing it over time. However, the steep terrain, cold climate, and saturated ground make long-term settlement in this region nearly impossible. The Inca were forced to learn how to collect water from soil, mist, and rain, stay warm in a harsh climate, and sustain food supplies in poor, chilly soil. From this cold, damp highland, they expanded their irrigation systems and influence into the valleys below, turning a difficult landscape into a strategic stronghold for their empire. This feline goes by many names: cougar, puma, mountain lion, or the haunting ghost cat. With a supple frame, a smooth, tawny coat, and eyes always alert in the shadows, this cat leaves behind nothing but bent grass and the sudden absence of an unlucky prey. Cougars are among the rare predators that have managed to conquer nearly every terrain across the Americas. Their evolutionary journey began over 6 million years ago, originating in North America before spreading southward during the Great American Biotic Interchange. Today, according to the 2024 update from the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, Red List, the cougar still holds the title of the most widely distributed terrestrial mammal in the Western Hemisphere, ranging from the icy Yukon of Canada to the frigid forests of Patagonia. Biologically, the cougar does not belong to the group of big cats, so it cannot roar like a lion or tiger. Its rigid larynx gives it a vocal range more like small cats, including hisses, growls, and piercing screams, sounds once described as resembling a woman's shriek in the night. In the thick mountain fog of the Andes highlands, a cougar lies motionless on a rocky ledge. Its eyes track a moving shape below, a slow-stepping target at the base of the slope. Thanks to its bronze coat, the cougar nearly vanishes into the rocky grassland background. It moves with silent precision across the steep, narrow terrain, each step deliberate. Its long tail acts as a stabilizer along jagged ridgelines. Once close enough, it crouches low, channeling power into its hind legs, a body built to leap up to 12 meters without a running start. The pounce happens in an instant. The cougar launches straight toward its prey, landing with pinpoint accuracy guided by its tail. Sharp claws dig into the prey's back. The bite is swift and targeted at the neck. In seconds, the hunt is over before the prey has time to react. The cougar drags the carcass into a nearby thicket. It covers it with dry grass to hide it, planning to return over the coming days to feed in solitude, a cold, efficient predator. But to the ancient Inca, the puma was more than a hunter. It was a sacred symbol of the human world, known as Uku Pacha, the middle layer of the three-tiered universe in their spiritual belief system. Now, let's climb higher, closer to the realm of the gods. Just below the eastern foothills of the Andes, where elevations drop below 1,500 meters, begins a lush, humid forest zone known as Selva Alta, the pre-Amazon rainforest. This region stretches across Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Bolivia, forming the transitional belt where the Andes meet the Amazon basin. Unlike the higher elevations above, the climate here becomes distinctly tropical, with average temperatures ranging from 20 to 28 degrees Celsius year-round and annual rainfall exceeding 3,000 millimeters. The rainy season lasts from October to April, and humidity remains above 85%, creating a thick, moisture-laden environment under a dense canopy. However, to the Inca, Selva Alta was never an easy place to access. It served as a strategic frontier, a region the Inca entered to gather resources, acquire valuable goods like rubber and medicinal plants, and establish trade networks with indigenous lowland groups. Numerous Inca outposts have been discovered in the Urubamba and Vilcabamba valleys, which once controlled the vital routes between the highlands and the Amazon. After the Spanish conquest of Cusco in 1533, the last Inca retreated into Selva Alta, where they founded the Kingdom of Vilcabamba, which lasted until 1572. The jaguar is the largest wild cat in the Americas and the third largest in the world, behind only the tiger and the lion. Its lineage traces back to ancient ancestors that migrated from Asia to the Americas via the Bering Land Bridge around 2 to 3 million years ago. Since then, it has evolved into a near-mythical predator, perfectly tuned for the forests and wetlands of South America. Today, jaguars range from central Mexico all the way down to northern Argentina. But the tropical forests of the eastern Andes, especially Selva Alta, stretching through Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, and Colombia, host the densest populations thanks to their remoteness and relatively intact ecosystems. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, the global adult jaguar population is estimated at around 64,000 individuals. But fewer than half live in fully connected habitat corridors. Jaguars are solitary animals, coming together only for mating or raising young. Males command vast territories, ranging from 25 to 85 square kilometers, depending on prey availability and local population density. Though they don't migrate seasonally, jaguars often travel along riverbanks and ancient footpaths, many of which were once part of the Inca road system. These corridors now serve both as territorial boundaries and nightly hunting routes for the rainforest's silent sovereign. In Selva Alta, the air hangs heavy with mist, thick with the scent of wet earth and decaying leaves. At the edge of a waterhole where towering kapok trees send roots down into the muck, a soft rustle is heard, then disappears as if it never happened. In the darkness, a solid black form hugs the forest floor, moving like a shadow fused with the uneven terrain and fallen canopy. The jaguar, nearly 2 meters long and weighing close to 100 kilograms, presses its body against the damp ground. Each step is a careful calculation, balancing weight and silence. Its muscular shoulders shift with precision, golden eyes locked on a juvenile South American tapir foraging under a tree, unaware that death is already swimming through the air around it. The jaguar doesn't lunge. It waits, patient as the hammer of the gods, suspended in anticipation of fate. Then, in a single breath, it strikes. No long chase like a cheetah. Its strength is launched from the shoulders and forelegs, flinging its mass forward like a missile. One leap, no second chance. The forepaws clamp onto the tapir's shoulders. The jaguar's heavy frame drives into its spine, forcing the prey to collapse in a splash of soil and silence. Then comes the signature move, the bite. That massive head clamps down just behind the skull. With a bite force of up to 2,000 newtons, the jaguar pierces bone and severs consciousness instantly. No need for choking, no waiting game, just one skull-puncturing bite, guided by millions of years of evolution, enough to end a creature twice its size. Beyond its powerful build and predatory skills, the jaguar is also a living embodiment of natural beauty, expressed through its distinctive rosette-patterned coat. These large rosettes, scattered across its body and marked with dark central spots, set it apart from the leopard, a species it's often mistaken for. Each jaguar carries a unique set of markings, like a fingerprint, which allows researchers to identify individuals through camera trap imagery. The black-coated form, known as the black panther, is not a separate species, but rather a melanistic jaguar carrying a specific pigmentation gene. Although they make up less than 10% of the wild population, these individuals hold a distinct advantage. Their dark coats offer exceptional camouflage in the shadowy, densely forested world of Selva Alta. In the grand cosmic worldview of the Inca, the jaguar was far more than a predator. It was the living embodiment of divine power walking the earth. Known as Otorongo in the Quechua language, the jaguar ruled over Caipacha, the present world where humans live, struggle, and strive. Its rippling muscles, lethal bite, and silent, breath-like stride made it the ultimate symbol for Inca warriors, those who believed that the blood of the jaguar ran through the veins of the chosen. In ancient stone temples, this great feline was carved with sacred eyes that stared directly into the soul of the mortal, a reminder that the jaguar did not merely survive, it guarded the sacred balance laid down by the gods. Beneath the dense canopy of Selva Alta, where the white-throated toucan sings above, a far quieter creature has wandered for millions of years. It doesn't call out. It doesn't dazzle with bright colors. It doesn't rely on speed or aggression. Yet its steady presence has become essential to the biological rhythm of the entire forest, the South American tapir. At first glance, the South American tapir may be misunderstood. Its slow movements and hefty build suggest clumsiness, but the reality is far different. Its most distinctive feature is its short, flexible trunk, a fusion of the upper lip and nose. This multi-purpose appendage helps it reach fruit hanging overhead, pull tender leaves into its mouth, feel its way through dense undergrowth, and even rise above the water's surface for air when diving to escape danger in deep rivers. This trunk connects the tapir to the three-dimensional structure of the rainforest, part arm, part snorkel, part survival antenna. But the tapir's most vital role lies in its feeding habits. As one of the largest fruit eaters in the Amazon region, it digests and disperses seeds from over 200 different plant species. These seeds, partially digested, pass through the tapir's system and are scattered through its droppings across vast distances. According to a 2024 report by the Wildlife Conservation Society, forests with active tapir populations show tree germination rates over 23% higher than areas where tapirs are absent. They don't just plant trees, they help restore degraded forest and preserve biodiversity structure over time. The South American tapir is semi-aquatic, and water is its greatest ally. The creeks, mud pools, and rivers of Selva Alta are not only sources of moisture and food, they're also sanctuaries from predators. When it senses danger, the tapir bolts into the water by instinct, swimming and diving with remarkable grace. So silently and smoothly, it seems to vanish into the current. But in South America, even the top predator is a master of water. While the jaguar instills fear on the forest floor through sheer force high above, where light fractures into broken rays filtering through the canopy, the margay glides like a shadow. It needs no brute strength or thunderous pounce. It is an artist of silence, a ghost that climbs, retreats, and vanishes into the trees as if it was never there. While many other wildcats have evolved to live on the ground, the margay has taken a completely different path, spending nearly its entire life in the trees. Its climbing ability is so remarkable that scientists often compare it to a squirrel, except with sharper claws. One of the most fascinating biological features of the margay is its unique ankle joint, which can rotate 180 degrees, allowing it to descend tree trunks head first. The margay's body is built for vertical living: compact frame, long hind legs, wide paws for gripping bark, and a tail that makes up about 70% of its body length, acting like a natural counterbalance. Thanks to these features, it can leap with ease and precision across branches spaced 4 to 5 meters apart. Living in the forest canopy helps the margay avoid many ground-level threats, but it doesn't free it from competition in the food chain. What sets the margay apart is not just how it moves, but how it thinks when hunting. In one observation from the Amazon rainforest in Brazil, scientists recorded a margay mimicking the call of a baby tamarin monkey to draw the attention of adult monkeys. Although the ambush didn't succeed, this vocal mimicry was seen as a rare display of learning and behavioral adaptability for a small predator. Visually, the margay has eyes that are large in proportion to its body. These eyes are specially adapted for excellent night vision, an essential trait for a solitary, nocturnal hunter moving through low-light environments. Special layers of retinal cells help gather as much light as possible, enabling the margay to detect prey like squirrels, opossums, night birds, lizards, or large insects from a distance, even while navigating the thick shadows of the Selva Alta rainforest. Although the margay does not migrate seasonally, it roams over a wide area. Each individual establishes its own territory and generally avoids contact with others, coming together only at specific times of the year to mate. A single territory can cover anywhere from 11 to 30 square kilometers, depending on forest density and food availability. Maintaining a continuous, dense habitat is essential for the margay's survival, helping it avoid direct competition with other meat-eaters like the tara or the ocelot. Following the fluid, graceful movement of the margay through the tangled branches, the atmosphere of the Selva Alta forest seems to suddenly stand still. High above, in the hazy canopy, a massive dark shape glides through, silent, leaving no trace. The harpy eagle has arrived, like a mythical figure dwelling in the forest. It patrols its territory in eerie silence, embodying the quiet authority of a true ruler of the skies. Widely recognized as one of the largest and most powerful birds of prey in the world, the harpy eagle is a rare creature that combines unmatched strength with exceptional adaptability in the uppermost layers of tropical forests. Its lineage can be traced back to the Accipitridae family, which first appeared around 40 million years ago. Over millions of years of evolution, the harpy eagle has refined every biological detail to become a true canopy-level hunter, an apex design in the aerial predator lineage. The Selva Alta region, with elevations ranging from 500 to 1,500 meters, multi-tiered forest structure, over 3,000 millimeters of annual rainfall, and humidity levels consistently above 85%, serves as a vital habitat for the harpy eagle. Here, it finds not only nesting sites, but also a rich supply of prey such as howler monkeys, sloths, and other arboreal mammals, key components of its diet. What makes the harpy eagle especially striking in the world of raptors is its massive talons, particularly the rear claw, which can grow up to 13 centimeters long, comparable to the claws of a full-grown grizzly bear. Its grip force can reach up to 2,220 newtons, enough to crush the bones of an adult monkey or crack a prey animal's skull in a single squeeze. This is the most powerful biological weapon among birds of prey and cements the harpy eagle's position as the undisputed top-tier hunter in the rainforest ecosystem. Beyond its strength, the harpy eagle is known for its extraordinary flight agility within the tight confines of the forest canopy, supported by a wingspan that stretches between 2 and 2.2 meters. Despite its large size, it can reach speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour when diving toward prey. Thanks to its relatively short wings and powerful torso muscles, the harpy can glide close to the treetops, maneuver through dense foliage, and execute incredibly precise strikes. In terms of range, the harpy eagle is found from southern Mexico through Central America, extending as far south as northern Argentina and southern Brazil. However, the latest studies indicate that the species has become locally extinct in several countries, including El Salvador, and now occupies less than 20% of its historical range. In places like Peru, Bolivia, and Colombia, home to the Selva Alta region, populations remain locally stable, but face intense pressure from deforestation, nest destruction, and illegal hunting. Serra da Selva, or the Andean cloud forest, stretches along the eastern slopes of the Andes from Venezuela to northwestern Argentina at elevations between 1,500 and 3,000 meters. This is a transitional zone between tropical rainforest and highland plateau, marked by year-round humidity, rainfall ranging from 1,500 to 2,500 millimeters, and temperatures fluctuating between 10 and 20 degrees Celsius. The cloud forest is dense with vegetation, excellent at retaining moisture, and plays a vital role in regulating water flow to the lower regions. It also serves as a crucial biological corridor, home to numerous endemic species and maintaining ecological connections between mountain habitats and the Amazon. To the Inca, Serra da Selva marked the soft boundary of their empire. They took advantage of the fertile soils, expanded agriculture using camelones, and linked the highlands with eastern cultures. The cloud forest was both a strategic region and a sacred space, where people, resources, and the forces of nature came together in connection. In the mist-shrouded cloud forest, where fog blankets the landscape day and night, a silent creature carries on its back a pattern so intricate it looks as though painted by nature itself. This is the ocelot. The ocelot's evolutionary lineage stretches back some 8 million years, when the Leopardus branch diverged from other members of the Felidae family, giving rise to a group of wildcats native to the Americas. Among them, the ocelot is the largest, marked by distinct genetic traits. It has only 36 chromosomes compared to the 38 found in most other feline species. Its body can grow up to 1 meter in length, and its weight ranges from 8 to 18 kilograms, making the ocelot far more formidable than any domestic cat. Its appearance is striking, a golden tan coat marked with dark-edged rosettes swirling across its body like flowing ink. Each individual bears a unique fur pattern as distinct as a fingerprint. That beauty, however, was once a curse. Hundreds of thousands were hunted for their pelts in the 20th century. Though now protected, their fur remains a haunting reminder of a wounded past. In the Andean cloud forests, between 1,100 and 2,800 meters in elevation, the ocelot finds its ideal home. Cool temperatures, high humidity, and thick canopy cover support a rich diversity of prey and provide perfect concealment. The ocelot is a versatile predator, hunting both on the ground and in the trees. It moves without a sound, each paw step as light as wind brushing moss. Though it walks slowly, every movement is purposeful. Its ears stand alert, swiveling toward the faintest sound, a twig snapping, a whisper of movement close to the forest floor. In darkness, its eyes are perfectly adapted to low light, catching every ghostly shift in motion. But it doesn't rely on vision alone. Its keen sense of smell, more developed than in many other felines, lets it track the fresh scent trails left by prey. Its agile climbing lets it move with ease through the forest's three-dimensional terrain. When needed, it can scale into the canopy to stalk birds or slip down to the streambed to hunt fish, crabs, or frogs, swimming with skill, a rare trait among wild cats. In a world where every corner teems with life, the ocelot is a master of adaptation. It knows when to climb, when to swim, and how long to wait in total stillness before striking. Each ocelot lives alone, defending a territory of up to 46 square kilometers, marked with scent maps made of urine and scat. Any intrusion may lead to a fight for survival. Reproduction also reflects long-term investment. Gestation lasts between 79 and 85 days, and the young, usually just 1 or 2, stay with their mother for nearly 2 years. During that time, they learn everything from her: how to stalk, climb, swim, evade threats, and recognize territorial boundaries. This stage is crucial in shaping their instincts and preparing them to thrive on their own. Within the Andean cloud forest ecosystem, the ocelot plays a vital role. It helps regulate populations of rodents, small birds, and amphibians, maintaining balance and preventing population surges. Its presence also signals the health of the environment. Where ocelots roam, primary forest still thrives, with enough space, biodiversity, and silence to support solitary life. In the spiritual world of the Inca, Uku Pacha was the deep realm beneath the earth, a place where death begins, dreams unfold, and rebirth takes root. This underworld wasn't just where souls returned. It was also home to silent beings, hidden in the shadows and dampness. Among the decaying leaves and wet, cold soil of the Seja de Selva cloud forest, one such creature lies motionless. This is the fer de lance. Its dark, triangular scales blend into the moist earth, fallen leaves, and dim light. No one sees it until it's too late. Despite its resilience and broad range, the fer de lance is not immune to human impact. Data from medical centers in Loreto, Peru, and Napo, Ecuador, show a slight rise in snakebite-related hospital admissions during 2023 and 2024, correlating with localized deforestation events. Deep within the forest, where plants droop under the weight of mist, the Seja de Selva suddenly flares to life with a burst of vivid orange. Amid the gray-green moss that blankets the steep cliffs, the Andean cock of the rock appears like a living ember, radiant, defiant, unmistakable. In this damp, hushed realm where most life chooses to remain hidden, this bird chooses instead to perform. Each morning, before the fog lifts, sharp whistles, clicks, and wing beats echo from rocky ledges near the streams, signaling the start of a wild beauty contest. At a gathering site known as a lek, where multiple males come together at the same time, the courtship spectacle begins. Flaming orange plumage, glossy black wings, and a distinctive fan-shaped crest. Each male bows, spins, hops, and emits a strange chorus of sounds. Every movement is rhythmic and repeated, not just for show, but to assert dominance. From a distance, the muted brown females quietly observe, evaluating each performer before selecting the most compelling male to mate with. And yet, the male's role ends there. Everything that follows, nest building, egg incubation, chick rearing, is handled entirely by the female. Once hatched, the chicks remain dependent on their mother for nearly 6 weeks. They grow slowly, mirroring a biological rhythm tuned to the low light and stable temperatures of altitudes between 1,200 and 2,400 meters. Their diet consists mainly of wild fruits, supplemented with insects, and occasionally small prey like frogs or lizards. This dietary variety not only provides essential nutrients, but also accelerates the development of sensory and spatial skills crucial for navigating the dense forest layers. Beyond its flamboyant courtship rituals, the Andean cock of the rock plays a key ecological role in the cloud forest. As a primary fruit eater, it disperses seeds through its droppings, especially around leks and along travel routes between nests and fruiting trees. These seeds fall into forest gaps where sunlight breaks through the canopy, triggering new growth and aiding forest regeneration. But the cloud forest isn't the richest part of the Andes just yet. Go lower still. and you'll reach the borderland between snow-capped mountains and tropical rainforest. We've just journeyed through some of the most unfiltered glimpses of pack coordination strategies and the harsh cost of supreme dominance in the wild. Which animal featured in today's episode made you rethink the natural world? Was it the unwavering discipline of the wild wolf dynasties, or the fierce defensive instincts of the solitary giants? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your understanding and appreciation are a meaningful tribute to these remarkable wild animals. Don't forget to like and subscribe to join me on future field expeditions, where we'll continue uncovering the most fascinating mysteries of survival. And if you'd like to discover more about other wild animals, keep exploring with Win or Die, full episode. Deadliest battles for survival or lion attack, the Mapogo struggle for survival,